Welcome to the Octagon. We're back for another week. This is Steve. I'm joined by Russell, Chris, and Pete, as always. And we're going to get started with what we've been playing. I'm going to go first because I haven't played anything. I played a little bit of Madden. Madden's not really all that interesting to talk about. They put the owner mode back in, so I can change the price of my hot dogs to however much I want, and I can move my team.
The number one hot dog pricing simulator. Madden 25.
Yeah. Actually, when I was in elementary school, there was a educational game we had to play that was all about running your own hot dog stand.
Hot dog stand, yes.
Yes.
The knock off the lemonade stand there or whatever.
Yeah, but I remember that. Like, I would love to play that again because it was actually really, really interesting. I thought it was quite fascinating. Yeah.
You eat a lot of lead paint as a kid.
Yeah. Children on the power lines. You guys want this or Gladiators?
I've been waiting for that part of owner mode to come back for years.
Yeah, it's really
years.
neat. I mean,
it was in the PS2 game all the time.
To just talk about Madden real quick, it plays great this year. I really do like the way it plays. The hits are really violent and nice. The only thing I don't like is that you really do have to edit the sliders. I usually like the default sliders, but this year the injuries are just happening way too much. I'm in Game 5 of my second season in franchise mode, and I have 8 players that are starters on the injured list right now. And not just they're out for a game, they're out for like 8 weeks.
Now, is that just because they have poor ratings?
No,
or...
they're players that shouldn't be getting hurt.
Okay.
So I went, like, the default sliders, like, injuries are set to 50. I turned it down to 35.
Okay.
And I did not get an injury in my last game. At least an injury in the last game where somebody missed.
Yeah.
I had an injury where a guy missed a quarter and came back.
Yeah.
But, like, my last game of preseason, like, 5 of my starters got injured, so the first half of the season I have nobody. So, I do like it, though. Madden is on a time limit, because GTA comes out in a couple weeks, and I'm not going to play Madden when GTA comes out. Yeah. So, I'm trying to get as much in as I can.
When I play Madden, I turn the injuries off for the preseason, whether or not I simulate them or not, because I don't like losing my players when it doesn't mean anything. I'm okay with them getting hurt, but not in the preseason.
I should probably do that, but as oddly as it is, because I play that game with no salary cap on, just because I like to have fun, I do try to maintain realism. I will never, like, quit out of a game because somebody got injured. I will just keep going, and it's fine. Like, I'm dealing with my backup quarterback, but it gives me a little bit of a sense of accomplishment, because I play on a harder difficulty, and I'm winning games. So that kind of, you kind of get that reward for doing well. Like, if I can win with nothing but backups, then, you kind of feel good about the game. Because I try to play sports games on close to the highest difficulty. I think, like, all Madden is the highest difficulty. Yep. Or no, yes. Hall of Fame?
And that could be a new one.
Whatever
all
one is,
so usually the highest.
It's the second to highest is what I play Madden on. I play NBA on the hardest.
Yeah.
The NBA 2K series, and that way it gives me a competitive game. Unfortunately, I will win most games, and there's nothing I can do about that, because if I adjust the sliders more in the computer's favor, I will never make a shot in the world because it's just unbalanced. But I try to play with some level of difficulty to it.
I think 2K13 finally hit a good balance with the computer missing shots, because in previous 2K games, the computer shot 75% or better, which is ludicrous. Because in the NBA, if you shoot 50%, you're really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Madden, but that's really all I've been playing. I've just had a lot going on, so video games kind of hit the back burner. School started, so I get to write about video games now. So I'm taking a class about video games.
I want to read those.
I had to write my first paper today. I had to write a paper about the role of writers in video games.
The most important people.
Which is funny, because I touch upon the fact that they're only the most important people over the past 5 to 6 years. Nobody really gave a shit about writing in video games until very recently.
There wasn't always a story in video games until
I bring up the part about how, you kind of started with, Super Mario Brothers, where there's a story, but not really, nobody really cares about it. And then, like, the arcade games where there really is no story, to now where you have, I used Heavy Rain as an example. I talked about Quantic Dream, where it's all story. So that's kind of what I did. I'm looking forward to the class, and, I guess if you're interested in it, maybe every time I do a paper, if it's around the time we do a podcast, I can talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I've done one other academic paper on video games. I wrote a 12-page term paper about violence in the media as related to video games my freshman year, I believe it was, and I...
freshman in high school?
No, freshman year in college.
Okay.
And I got, I'm trying to think of the right word to say, not like an award for it, but it was, he uses that now in his syllabus, which I think is kind of neat, because I remember when he handed us our syllabus at the beginning of the year. He handed us papers written by former students that were like the best of the best, and I guess now he uses mine in that. I don't know if he still does. Last semester I know he did, because he sent me an email about it. But yeah, I just talked about how how people like to say that kids are violent because of video games, and there is no proof that is the case, and people like to blame video games for different things. But
kids are violent because they're unintelligent.
Yeah, I mean, and just kind of like media bias and stuff like that. So I wrote this huge paper, and I was quite proud of it, and it was good. So I'm looking forward to this course. I still don't have a grasp on what exactly we're going to be talking about. I know we're not going to be talking about like social issues with games. This is more of a technical game or technical course in terms of actually writing a video game. So that's kind of interesting. But
the only thing I ever have to say about video game violence in the media, video games aren't made for little kids. The violent games say M17 plus because they're made for adults.
There's rating for a reason. I don't understand why people will ignore video game rating, but they will adhere to the MPAA ratings, PG-13.
Oh my god, which is insane because a movie you can get to a certain point where it's not rated R, it's rated NC-17.
Yeah.
And that's technically it's illegal to let someone watch it. Where a video game, you can drop thousands of F-bombs and sexual scenes as long as it's not considered too violent, it's still rated M.
Yeah.
So violence in video games, in my opinion, is way higher than violence in movies.
Well, what kind of struck me and was interesting is I talked about this on the last podcast. I went to that horror movie that just came out, You're Next. Yeah. And this happens every once in a while when I go to a horror movie. You'll see young teenagers, and they'll have like a parent with them, kind of like the group parent. I don't know if it was like that when you were in high school, but when I was in high school, I hung out with this group of kids, and the one kid's mom was always like the one that drove us around to everywhere, and she would go to the movies with us. So they were trying to do the traditional thing where she buys the tickets to the R-rated movie for her kids, and then she leaves and either goes to somewhere else in the mall or another movie. And the guy was like, no, you can't. You're going to have to stay with her. And all I could think about was, so she can't take these kids to this movie, but I guarantee those kids have Call of Duty in their house.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but the movie isn't. So why do you follow one but not follow the other? So I just think it's a little strange.
It's like saying, hey, little Joey, why don't you have this copy of Grand Theft Auto 4 and shoot up some hookers, and while you're at it, go watch Human Centipede. It'll be great. There's a line, and
Saints Row 4, have a dildo back, kid.
That's not.
That is a
that's
dildo
a hidden
bat.
weapon in that game.
No, you buy it.
No, I think it's hidden. You have to unlock that one. In 3, it's you buy.
Everybody stop talking about Saints Row 4. My computer has been broken, so I can't play. I want to fucking hear about Saints Row. I know that's in it. Of course there is. That's why I want the game. But nobody talk about that game until I can play it. It's off limits.
It's built off the Matrix.
I haven't really played anything else.
You've been fucking playing. Oh, is that what you're gonna be talking about?
That's what I've been
you're
playing.
Gonna be fucking silent too. Don't spoil it for me, you asshole. I really want to play that game, but yeah, my computer's been broken, so I haven't been able to play it yet.
It's fixed.
I'm not going to play it anytime soon because I'm not going to play that game right when GTA is coming out. So I think that Saints Row will make a very nice winter game.
Yes, we'll talk about it when it's completely outdated and pointless.
Yes, no, you can go ahead and talk about it. I'll just go la 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 la. It's just in the background
through the whole podcast.
Through the whole podcast.
This will be great.
But yeah, that's it for me. So whoever wants to go next, you can take it.
Well, I guess other than sitting at the Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn screen crying because I can't load into the server that Chris is on because he happened to pick the most filled server.
I picked a server that I could get into when I bought the game 3 days before it actually came out when I had my copy, which someone could have but didn't pre-order the game.
I bought the game 2 years ago when it actually came out.
When it sucked balls.
Besides the point, I've actually been playing Saints Row the Third, getting that out of the way because I actually got that for free. And, I mean, other than Saints Row, that's more of like a co-op game. I only play that when I have someone to play it with because I lose interest really fast. Other than that, I really haven't been doing anything. Like I said, just been waiting for that one server to open up in Final Fantasy.
Have you played the game at all?
Yeah, I actually made a character on a separate world.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't make someone I would generally play as. I made like a Thaumaturge, whatever they're called.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
They're kind of like the black mage of this game.
He's a fire mage to start with, basically.
Now, are you the kind of guy that like spends 9 hours creating your character to make him just perfect?
there's not enough options
Yeah.
to take
Oh,
9
really?
hours.
So it's not like Skyrim or something like that.
You can take quite a while.
Yeah.
They give you like a base setup for each one, and then you can slightly change
Yeah.
each thing. But each class has about 4 or 5 base setups, and then you can go from there.
Yeah, they have like anime eyes, angry eyes, the
Well, I
different
think
like sets of
that's
eyes.
is that one of those games where armor changes your appearance as well?
Yeah, the armor change every time
so
you get a different
you are
piece
going to
of
be
armor.
looking different eventually. You'll
Oh,
probably
yeah.
have like a helmet on or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Everything's kind of Final Fantasy based too, because the armor's all bright and like colorful, and the weapons are all just outrageously like big and over the top. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's awesome. So I've been playing since he's done. I've been playing, and we'll go back to the last podcast. Me and Russell both played a bunch of Dragon's Crown about a month ago, and I made it through the first 9 levels. And after you make it through the 9 levels, you can finally play online, which is a little thing they don't tell you.
This is the weirdest thing I ever heard was when you told me you had to play half the game to be able to play online.
Yeah, because after you beat the 9 levels, basically you got to beat the 9 levels again on super hard bosses. So I think that's why they give you the ability then. If you have people in the room with you, you can play it at any time, multiplayer. They just hit start. It's kind of like an arcade game. You drop in, drop out. Beautiful art style. I played as the sorceress. I had to do it. She's a glass cannon. She's big titty flopping, running around. It's awesome. It's really fun. It's like a Final Fight style game, RPG. Like a side-scrolling gauntlet game, I guess would be a good way to say it. But the art style's gorgeous. It runs great. The bosses and the enemies are really cool. The story's nice. What'd you think of it, Russ?
I loved it. I mean, some of the bosses kind of traumatized me from their appearances. Like, what is it? The harpy, the bird woman.
A
little bit more animation than I
everyone knows
wanted
what
to
harpy
see.
is. Usually has like a head of someone. This actually coming up the bird, it goes to the neck, and then after the neck of the bird is the torso and tits and the head of a woman.
It's kind of
creepy.
yeah.
You should look up the harpy design for Soul Sacrifice.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
It's,
Oh,
it's
really?
like really, it's really disturbing. It's like a dead woman that's got like rotting flesh and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds
it's
cool,
Like, it's
though.
more disturbing than it is.
That's
like,
okay.
yeah.
She's creepy.
It was like a stripper put onto a bird's
Did you
body.
see the mermaid? You
So
saw
it's
the
like
mermaid.
Yeah.
lollipop chainsaw harpy.
The
Yeah,
mermaid
pretty
is
much.
kind of the same thing. The mermaid's body stops. A normal mermaid's body stops at the waist.
Yeah.
And then you have the tail of a
She
fish.
looks like an old man.
Whatever. What?
She got her fin pulled up.
Oh, okay. Yes. So the mermaid in Dragon's Crown goes down below her butt. So she's got the ass of a female, and then right below her, crotch line, the butt line, the fin starts. The tail starts.
Best of both worlds. You don't have
The
to choose
butt
the top
line.
half.
The
of the
Yeah,
bottom
you
half.
don't have to choose the top or the bottom half, but it's just creepy because
Some
it's
of the
like
art style, yeah,
you
it's
got the
kinda weird.
ass and then the fins, and I'm like, what? How? What? How does it work?
We're really balancing out the penis apocalypse of last podcast.
See, that's 2 so far. Shut up, Pete. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah,
can't
sorry.
remember what
Titty,
you played
titty,
as.
titty,
I
titty.
played the dwarf.
I played as the dwarf just because he's the powerhouse
Hey,
character.
why does that not surprise me?
I played as a little character in every game.
You're supposed to escape real life with a video game, not perpetuate the stereotype.
Every MMO or any game that you create your character, my character's about 3 to 5 foot tall,
Yeah.
and as powerful as can be.
Mine is always a 6'7" muscular woman because in my body, growing up, I felt like I was a young boy trapped. I was a 6'7" muscular woman trapped in the body of a 9-year-old boy, and that's kind of how I went through life. And I gotta go through the therapy and living as a woman for a year, and then I can finally get approved for my surgery. And they're gonna extend my height up a little bit. I lost a little bit after surgery a few years ago, so they're gonna put some poles in me or rods in me.
poles in you?
Yeah, of course they're gonna put rods in
Well, it's
you.
gonna help me getting used to it when I start living as a woman. So if they can put the poles in early, I can finally get used to the sensation, and it'll just
So the big thing with Dragon's Crown is though it got a lot of flack because of the art style, and I don't have an issue with it. It's its own game. Bitch and complain about it all you want. The game is fun, and that's the point. If the girl's got big boobs and she runs around, holds her hat, and they're flopping around, and I just laugh and just run back and forth, and the game is fun. That's the point of it, and I have fun playing it, and I really want to play it with Russ, but he's got to finish the 9 levels so then we can play online. But it's a lot of fun. Check it out, definitely. It's good on the Vita as well. A little upset that it doesn't have cross-play or cross-buy. It has cross-save functionality. So eventually when I get it for free on the Vita, probably, or it goes down to $20, I'll buy it again and play it. The Vita, I guess, has a little bit of slowdown sometimes when you get a ton of stuff on screen.
Yeah, because those sprites are huge.
Oh, they are.
That's the one thing that really put me off about that game is just the way it, not the art style, but just the way it looks.
Yeah.
Because I've played like beat 'em ups before that had those huge sprites. Like Pete and I played one on my arcade cabinet, and it was just like, I just don't like it. I would rather have everybody in proportion to the environment instead of just, because it just seems like the camera zoomed in too much.
No, you didn't play any of Dragon's Crown.
I didn't play any of Dragon's Crown. I would have liked to have got it, but I think there's a reason why I didn't. It either was because of money or because something else came out right around the same time. I don't remember what came out around that same time, but
The only thing that made it a
NCAA.
little kind of... Oh, was
Yeah.
it NCAA?
Really
No.
close.
Yeah, maybe that was why. No, because I wouldn't have chose that. There had to have been a different reason why I didn't get Dragon's Crown. I don't know.
The only thing
I
about
ain't
that
good.
game that kind of like made it a little bit different for me is if you find like something sparkling in the background, or if you find an item, instead of walking over and picking it up, you use your right analog stick to move a cursor over,
Oh, that's
and you
weird.
click on it, and then your little thief that you have with you runs over and either unlocks the chest or he'll pick up the item.
Huh.
You know, you don't go over and grab it yourself. So as you're running around in the game, you have to move the right joystick to kind of, click on little hidden treasures and stuff.
I remember why I didn't get it. It was because you told me you had to play until level 9 to
Yeah,
do
to
the
play
online.
online.
That's why I
Yeah.
didn't get it,
Because
I
you
just-
wanted to play
I
online
just
with
wanted
me
to
and
play.
Russell.
Yeah, I just wanted to play online.
Well,
with
that's
you
why we
guys.
got it, was for
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to play the
four-player beat-em-up
co-op.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the Vita, you can actually just touch the screen and he'll go where you want him to.
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
a little bit easier on the
a little
Vita
bit
to
nicer.
control your thief because he's always with you. The game's fun.
I miss a
Check
bunch
it
of
out.
shit because of that, though.
The
That's the only
fairy's
thing.
awesome. The little fairy girl, because when you go into the tavern, she's in like a chalice, drunk. It's awesome.
She have big tits too.
No, surprisingly, well, kinda.
Kind of for her. I mean,
her
for
body
being
size.
3 inches
Of
tall.
course,
Yeah,
of course.
they all have big tits in the game. I mean,
It's a
except for
JRPG style.
the archer doesn't. She's normal. The elf girl. Elf girl's
She's an
normal.
elf.
The Amazon is freakish. She's got the giant
Ama-
thighs.
you would
and
be the
legs and
Amazon.
ass. Oh yeah,
You are
Steve
the-
would
yeah.
be the Amazon.
With the 6'8" woman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
She's
go
like
figure.
7 foot tall.
I just want to play a game as China. That's all I want.
that's basically what she is.
Good.
But like even
Is that why
for
you have WrestleMania
for the
down
art
there?
style
Yes.
and when people were complaining about the sexist stuff, it goes the same way for the men
no,
in
China.
that game. I mean, like the warrior and the dwarf is like a 3 foot tall mound of muscle. And he just when he runs, it's great because he just does this little like stride thing. And he like bounces across the screen. It's great.
Kind of like a gal.
We gotta get a little camera. Just put it right on Chris. That's the whole time. So when he says stuff like this, walks like this.
He also
I don't
does
know how
good.
to describe it.
He
He
does
has a
good
great
16-bit
run.
music as well.
Yes. And other than that, I've been playing Final Fantasy and a little bit of Payday. Final Fantasy, I am going towards a Paladin build to start off with, so I'm working on my Gladiator right now, Gladiator skills, and he's up to level 16, and I've played about 30 hours already. So I've come off from playing. I've slowed down playing a little bit this past few days because I want to play with Russell, and I don't want to get so far ahead that I'm really going to get bored helping him level up quickly because I am going to force him to level up fast.
You
But I
don't
want
get
to go
enjoy
back
the
around
game.
and do. No, he's going to because I'll stand around and do it with him. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you want to play with friends, wait about a month or two while they fix.
Yeah,
all the
because
damn
they have
server
a
problems.
nice
more
note
servers.
when you're creating your character. You know, if you're going to play with your friends, make sure you pick a server and tell them. Well, I told Russell, and guess what? Can't fucking play with Russell. Unless I could create a new character, but I've put 30 hours in. If I hadn't put 30 hours in, if it was 10, if it was 15, I might do it again. But I've played a lot, and I like my character. He's got some cool stuff. The other day I had like a green, I think it was copper, and you can actually dye your clothes now. I found this stuff to dye your clothes, and I wanted to make red gauntlets, but they looked pink. Like I was like, why do I have pink hands? Like pink big gloves, they're all pink. I changed them to yellow, and they look like shit. And I'm just like, give me the purple dye so I can make purple everything. Yeah, I basically like the Hulk. He's like a little bit lighter. You know, he's not neon green, but he's got purple. He's got a purple beard.
You in purple, which is really weird because you don't like Saints Row.
I know it drives me nuts. It's like the
Purple
color.
video game.
Yeah, it is. It's
Never-
tempting for me to play it just because of
If
that.
they ever come out with a pink game, I'm just like gonna dive like head first in. But real quick, because it's funny because you mentioned Payday, and we were playing Payday a lot together. I think, unfortunately, just because of timing, I think I'm probably done with Payday, which sucks because you know it's like I said earlier, when GTA comes out, that's it. You know, like that's you're going to hear nothing but GTA from me for a while on this podcast because, I mean, yes, Beyond comes out October 8th, and I'll certainly talk about Beyond, but other than that, it's going to be GTA probably until the end of the year because I'm not getting a new system.
Yeah.
So it's really just going to be GTA probably until December when Donkey Kong
Forgot
comes
about
out.
Beyond.
You know, and it's just, with Payday, it's just bad timing because, like, personally, I've got school going on, I've got work, I've got a few other things that I'm going on. I'm going out of town tomorrow for a couple of days. So it's just like, Payday's just probably not going to keep happening, which sucks because that game is awesome. I can't recommend it enough. I really can't. I wish I had the time to keep playing it, but really, if you're listening and you're on the fence about it, just go and get it. It really is.
Oh, it is. It's a riot. It's a lot of fun. I wish people wouldn't. It's tough when you're playing with people you're not talking to or your friends, because when people just don't revive you or they don't drop ammo and you see them, they have an ammo thing, and you're just like standing next to them, and I've got 0 shotgun shells.
Yeah.
You know, and
Click,
it's like,
click,
you know,
click.
Just drop your friggin' stuff, and then I die eventually, and the guy goes over in the corner and drops his fucking ammo and takes it all to himself.
One of the things I should note, just in case people are kind of wondering, you know, why it should be apparent that he needs ammo. In that game, you can see your teammate's ammo.
Yeah.
So if Chris, even if Chris is on the other side of the map, I can see on my screen if he needs ammo.
Yeah.
So
How many overall
I
shells
do
you
like
have.
that. Yeah, it's nice because when we play, I have a medic bag, Russell has the ammo bag, and Chris has a sentry gun. So we all kind of, you know, work together as a team, you know, and it works out great.
8 more levels and $500,000 and I'll have C4.
Yeah, I'm a little bit pissed. I'm not getting my saw. I really wanted that saw.
I watched a guy try to blow down a door with
Yeah.
C4, and it took him like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And he had to stand back and shoot them. So I don't know if you could like detonate them
You
with
gotta
anything.
shoot 'em?
There's got to be a detonator.
Yeah, he
It might be
didn't.
another level
He just
up.
stood back and
That's-
shot him.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
But it took him 5. The first one he threw up there, he shot early, and it did nothing. So he threw 4 more up, and that finally.
Yeah,
opened
well,
the
I think
door.
you have to place one in each of the spots.
And then
So if
what
it's
it
like
is.
a bank safe, you've got to put one in one and one in the middle
Okay.
on like the hinges and then the center. Oh, I count. I'm waiting. I can't wait to get my.
It's just one and one and one, and you're moving your hands around, and I don't know. It just
Shut up,
doesn't.
Pete.
Have you been drinking?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
I put vodka in my Shack soda.
My Shack soda.
It's a soda shack.
I've got my orange cream Shack soda from Arizona. It's Shackalicious.
Brought to you by Shack Soda.
I'm going to
Drink
drink.
it.
I'm going to drink a sip of my very alcoholic bottle of water.
Which is
here.
sad. The Shack soda, and we live in we don't live in, but whatever. We're
we live in a world that didn't used to have Shack Soda.
we live in a small town, and they have this, and I can't find it anywhere else. So I haven't been able to buy
Which
my
is funny
Shack
because
soda anywhere
nobody's
else.
going to know what I'm talking about, but you will. The place across the street from where your girlfriend works.
Yeah.
That place had like the bootleg
Bootleg
soda back
soda.
in the
Yeah.
day, man. They had like Sobe before. Remember when Sobe got really big? They had like Sobe before. Like my father was like driving over there. He's like,
Faygo?
He's like the year 2000 snacks. You bite down and shoots glitter in your mouth. You know, shit like that. You know, it was like this little hole in the wall hardware store.
It's what it is. It's a true general store.
Yeah, it's a general store, and they had like imported Japan drinks and shit. And I'm like, you got Famicom games in the back.
When you
man?
go in that store, they have a table with candy on it.
I haven't been there in years.
Oh, they still have the table,
Yeah.
the table with candy. It's just that you pick your choice of candy. It's great. I
Well,
still
you-
go there every once in a while just to buy like
They have saltwater
weird
taffy?
candy. Yeah,
Oh, I'm going over there. There's saltwater taffy.
you know they have a little bit of
Podcast
everything.
done.
Yeah, podcast done. Even though he's closed.
They
I'm
close
going-
it. Yeah, they close early. They close at 8.
Yeah.
You know they're a small store. They've been there forever and they will be there forever.
Yep.
So I actually played games. Now that you guys are done talking about soda and snacks and general stores, you assholes. I don't know.
You just showed up
Mr.
with a bag full of beef jerky and cheese, so I don't think anybody should be talking about convenience stores.
I don't know
I've
why
never
this
seen
has
him-
surprised you. I do this every time.
I love his technique. The two
both
hand,
at
the
the
two.
time?
hand-
Yeah,
That's what you're
he's,
supposed to do.
he's double fisting
never-
the meat. And he's just shoving it, he's like ramrodding
the
it
meat
into
and
his
cheese
mouth.
right at the same. They're built like that. I never thought about it. I always take them out and like how and Pete's the man.
He dives in head
it's road
first. It
food.
sucks
It's
him
road
deep,
food you're supposed to
and
get.
he dives in. Which is funny because part of my job now is dealing with convenience store owners,
Oh.
and I never want to go to one ever again. I don't
go to
wanna-
Right Way, they
I don't-
might want that.
Yeah, I don't want to shop in one. I don't want to buy anything from them anymore. They are the scum of the fucking earth. I'm sorry if you own a convenience store. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. No, you need to price
They're all
gun
David.
those. Yeah, you need to price gun those. I don't have a price gun. I get you a price gun.
I get you.
You fucking. So I'm sitting there price gunning these.
Are you
fucking,
serious?
Yeah,
You did
fucking
not.
DVD sleeves, like 60 DVD sleeves with this bootleg ass price gun.
my
Like,
God.
here you go, sir.
The one that Rick and Tim give to people. There are 80 of them that they bought.
Nobody knows who we're talking about.
Those are our bosses.
So I played Saints Row 4.
Shut up! I want to keep talking about double fisting pepperoni.
It's not pepperoni, it's beef stick.
It's
I was
beef,
at the, I was
it's
at the
beef
gro-
and cheese.
I was at the grocery store the other day, and they had, you know, the styrofoam that ground beef comes on, and it's
Yeah.
like wrapped in Saran wrap. They had that, but it was just pepperoni and cheese cubes.
Yeah, they have
And I
them
was
in-
like, that is
we go
so
buy them in
fucking
Wegmans when we go to
disturbing.
Wegmans, and I'm like, Pete. And he's like, ooh.
That just seems
I
really
am
weird.
like, ooh.
It just seems weird. It just seems really strange. And what's really odd, because in my mind, like, if I was laying out a grocery store, like, the smartest thing on earth is we live on the East Coast, and we have a grocery store called Wegmans. They're on, like, New York, Pennsylvania. If you ever watch QVC, the Home Shopping Network thing, all of their soda and everything is W brand because it's Wegmans, because Wegmans is in Pennsylvania. So a little fun fact for you. So that's our local grocery store. They have the smartest thing in the world. I was there the other day, and I needed to buy Miracle Whip. And so I find the Miracle Whip, and I turn around to the lady that works there, and I go, "Where is the tuna fish?" Because you would make
It's
tuna
right next
fish
to the
with
Miracle
Whip. It's right next to the Miracle Whip. That's the smartest fucking idea in the world. Why is the pepperoni and cheese not next to, like, the beer and, like, sleeping medicine?
Some of them are.
Because it would just
They
make-
actually,
it would just
if,
make
when you go down towards the beer, they actually have, that's where the cellophane ones are.
Yeah.
Because every
Well,
time
why
we
don't you
see
get,
them, that's where
why
they
is
are.
the Mexican cheese not next to the tortillas?
They are.
Because that's
No,
racist.
no, it's
They,
not.
they,
No,
the
it's
cheese
not.
is here.
The cheese is
The
in the
tortillas are right
refrigerated
under-
section to the yogurt
It's
and
right
the
underneath
Lunchables.
it. They have refrigerated tortillas.
Oh, nobody wants refrigerated tortillas.
Ah!
You gotta
If you
heat
get
up your
refrigerated
tortilla
tortillas,
anyways.
they're not soft enough.
No, you have to heat them up.
No, you eat them. I eat them cold.
You're supposed to heat them up.
You got to heat them
I am
up so they
cold.
fold better.
No, these things are like super soft. The ones I've been buying, I found these like low carb.
That's because they're low carb.
Russell,
right?
you look kind of Mexican. Are you supposed to heat those up?
That was mean.
Perfect.
Eat them warm.
See? There you go. The most Mexican person here agrees.
I said something once to somebody that was a former coworker of ours, where I was like, "You're Mexican, right?" And he goes, "No, I'm Puerto Rican." I go, "No, you're Mexican. You just don't know it." And I probably shouldn't have said that. He no longer works with us. The lawsuit is pending, but
Yeah.
He said much worse.
yeah.
So, anyways, I was playing
Can
Saints
you
Row
swim?
4.
See, there's this stereotype. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Pete.
Go on. Talk about.
I have a feeling he's doing it on purpose too.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get spoiled about this fucking game. I'm just going to derail this fucking podcast to the point where we have to move on to another segment.
2 hours
What
of
do you
tangent.
actually know about Saints Row 4?
You're the president of the United States, and there's I'm sorry. Yes, there's Americans.
They're Americans.
You're the president of the United States, and there's aliens.
You're in the Matrix.
Okay.
And you're in the Matrix.
Oh, great for ruining it for him. No.
What?
What the hell are you doing?
You know what was
making
on
sure the
television the
chair's
other
not
day?
any.
Okay.
You know what was on television the other day? Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck.
That's a good one.
You ever seen that movie? That's a great movie. That really is a good
I like
movie.
Mr. 3000 more.
Mr. Baseball's better.
Yeah, he does.
So in Saints Row 4, you're really the alien.
Tom Selleck co-owns the Detroit Tigers.
yeah, is this like Jay-Z owning the Nets?
No, he's like actually involved.
Did
in
you
that.
see how much the Nets? Did you see how much Jay-Z actually owns of the Nets?
Yeah,
They showed
and he
this.
sold half of it to Jason Kidd.
Yeah,
God.
no, all of it. As far as I
Did
know,
he?
he
Oh,
had
really?
to. He had to because now he wants to be an agent.
It's like a foreign
That's
language.
yeah, he is
you
a
can't
sports
own
agent.
anything.
He
He
actually
owns
has
like
clients now.
0.056%. It's a 16th of a 1%.
Nice.
So anyway, Saints Row 4. You play as the president. Shit happens. Aliens go whoop-de 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 whoop, then come down.
No,
And-
they do wub wub wub.
No, you do whoop whoop whoop. You do whoop whoop whoop. They go whoop-de 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 whoop. Yes, that's kind of what they do. I think
I'm dancing. Whoop, 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 whoop.
I'm dancing.
So anyways, Saints Row 4 really good. They Saints Row 2 was like half serious, and Saints Row 3 pissed me off because it started out a little bit serious and it went like fucking stupid. But Saints Row 4 forgoes anything
Stupid the whole
serious.
time.
How on earth did Saints Row 3 start off serious? They're wearing gigantic masks of one of the characters, and they rob a bank by riding a safe.
Gat
hanging off-
dies.
I know, Gat's back though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say. Yeah, he doesn't.
I haven't
die.
gotten to that part yet, but I saw the promotional
back.
stuff. Gat's back.
Johnny Gat's a fucking man.
Johnny Gat's the
He got his
the
leg
guy
blown
from
off
Hawaii.
because
Maybe I'll
Big
play a
mouth.
co-op with you.
And
Do 3.
Yeah,
Three's
that's what I
fine.
mean. I'm not paying for that shit.
so
I'm not paying for a giant box of purple.
aside from Saints Row 4 that I've done a shitload of, I played It'll Do.
Oh, you finally got around to playing that?
Finished it.
What?
Oh, okay,
Whoa,
there
there's
you
this
go.
called It'll Do?
It'll Do. No, it's like
Shouldn't
Little
it be
Do.
called That'll Do Pig?
No, it's like Little Do without an L. And it's not D-O, it's D-E-W.
What is it?
It'll do.
It's
like
Zelda.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Zelda game. A little bit short, super quirky, nice. Not exactly worth $14, but certainly worth like 7 or 8 or even 10. But I mean, $14 you have to really like the game to get it, you know. But you play as a girl, and a relatively ambiguous girl, but a girl you can tell right from the beginning. But they make a big deal. Oh, you know, you have a little companion like Navi, except it's a little fox, and it makes a big deal. You know, you get a card or something that has your name on it, and you're a girl, and then eventually you find out the fox is a girl too. I ruined the whole game for you guys now. Everybody's girls.
Boobs.
You wind up on an island that's that your raft gets destroyed, and you need to get a new raft to get out, but you can't make
Surrounded by
a raft.
fajitas.
Vaginas.
You have to warm
You
the
said
shit
it
up
wrong.
first.
How dare you?
Regardless, it's a good game. You should read up more on it. I can't talk about it anymore because it's the tangent starting. I can see it in Steve's eyes. Saints Row.
No, but I did want to ask you about Saints Row. Did you play 3?
Yeah,
Is it pretty much just play basically the same? I mean, it feels the same.
it feels a little bit the same. The engine hasn't changed, but it's they've done some upgrades, I guess.
Well, I know that they said that at launch the console versions were completely busted, like it was like going into like negative frames per second and just not running right. And everybody said that the PC version was supposed to run super smooth and fast. And
It's supposed to look nicer too, but I haven't kept up with the console stuff. I'm glad I got on the PC. I can say that for sure. The mouse and keyboard controls are great, but I have it hooked up to my gamepad, my Xbox pad, and it's fantastic. A shitload of fun, real tons of fun. It has some elements that borrowed from Crackdown, if you ever played it for the 360. Upgrades, things like that.
Do you start off? Okay, so you don't start off with like literally all your powers because I
No,
saw someone like flying.
You have
you're supposed to get them pretty quick, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching some footage of people playing. And they're like, yeah, 3 hours in the game, I could fly and jump from end to end of buildings. And
Well,
stuff
if you can
like
fly,
that.
you can pretty much take down anything because he's like flying through like helicopters, just cutting.
Well,
them
they were
in
saying
half.
that like vehicles are pointless in the game because you can fly.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a ton of car customization and stuff like that, but they're like, if you can fly, it's kind of pointless.
I just customized my guy so he looked like a jet pilot and then just fly everywhere.
There is a Boba Fett costume.
I'd get that.
Yeah, with jetpack. The colors aren't right. They have Han Solo not right either colors, but they do that because they probably get sued. But you can change it. You can change all the colors.
By
Not in
Disney?
America.
Never.
What voice did you go with?
I went. Well, my friend went with the voice 1, like standard American.
Troy Baker.
I went with voice 3.
Troy Baker has always been the voice of the protagonist in Saints Row.
Oh, yeah?
I went with voice 3, the British voice.
That's the one I used in 3. Is it the same guy?
Yeah.
Okay, great, because he was awesome in Saints Row 3.
Yeah.
Because one of the neat things about Saints Row is that the dialogue changes depending on what voice you have.
Yep.
Not everybody reads the same lines.
Exactly.
So the game
That's
will have
cool.
different dialogue because in Saints Row 3, towards the end of the game, he goes on this whole tangent about like soccer in England. And I was like, there's no way that like the other characters would be talking about that. So I actually looked it up. A lot of the dialogue is the same or very similar, but all of them have their own stuff that they go on.
Nice.
I guess the biggest complaint with this one is the Nolan North voice. He makes jokes about him being Nolan North because you're actually supposed to be playing as Nolan North and not the main character of the game. But they said that the problem is they don't pull that joke enough, and he has the exact same lines of dialogue as Troy Baker. So, like, they had this joke on a platter that they could exploit for all it's worth, and they don't do much with it, I guess.
Nice.
I was thinking about choosing Nolan North, but I didn't.
I picked the zombie voice for number 3 just cause. Just cause.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
Where you just walk around and go, "Arr!"
He starts singing along to like the music in the car, and I almost peed my pants.
Really?
Yeah.
there's
So he
like
doesn't talk. He
there's
just
like
fucking...
there's a
So the whole game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't
Like,
talk.
They'll
You
be,
just...
they'll be having a conversation with you,
Does
and
he
he'll
have,
just
like,
be like,
subtitles?
No. Well, yeah, but they're just. "Nah."
So wait,
It's a gibberish.
Like 40 hours of...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But there's a mission in Saints Row the Third where you're driving in a car and a Sublime song comes on and everybody sings along in the car.
Yeah.
And obviously when the zombie does it, it's,
hilarious.
Best thing ever.
It's just, Adam Sandler noises. That's what the subtitle says. It's just parentheses, Adam Sandler noises.
I love Adam Sandler noises.
Yeah. Did anybody play anything else? You guys want to move on? What do you want to do? Hurry up.
I ate a man in Saints Row 4. I didn't.
Did you do the octagon?
Jesus Christ.
No,
Did you do that?
He did that when he was in Maryland.
No, you can't. You can actually romance anybody you can get on your ship. For the most part.
There's
it makes fun of Mass Effect. You know how you can romance some people. It's hit Y to talk, hit X to romance.
That's funny.
I think the only person you can't romance is Keith David, which means everybody else is romanceable by hitting the X button.
Who?
Nice.
Keith David, the actor Keith David, is the vice president.
He plays Keith David, the vice president.
He's the black guy who's in stuff.
I'm
There you go.
Him. No, I'm picturing him because I know.
That's
Keith,
him.
Was Keith David Candyman?
Yeah.
I think Keith David. No, that's not. I'm sorry, that's not
Halo.
Candyman.
He's the black
he's
guy
the
in
chief.
Halo.
He's chief. No,
He's not the chief.
no. He's the guy on the ship.
He's the black guy.
He's the black guy.
I don't know.
There's
I'm
only
not trying
one
to be
black guy
racist
in
here.
Halo.
Okay, here we go. He was in They Live. He was in Pitch Black and the Chronicles of Riddick.
He
was in Platoon. He was in Requiem for a Dream, Barbershop, There's Something About Mary, Men at Work.
He's got kind of like teeth.
He was Sergeant Foley
Hopefully.
in Modern Warfare 2. He was the Flame King in Adventure Time. He was the Arbiter in Halo 2 and 3. He played the main character
okay.
on Gargoyles.
Okay.
He was the gargoyle on
Really?
Gargoyles?
He was Goliath himself.
Dude, Gargoyles was great.
I haven't seen that in so long.
I had the full set of Gargoyle toys when I was a kid.
Nice.
I still know. I'm pretty sure I know where my Goliath is.
You know what Sky Commanders are?
No.
Do you remember those?
Wait a minute, were those like the whirly things that you pull and they'd fly up in the air?
No. They were little guys that were on zip line. They had their own cartoon for a little while.
I remember those.
And I used to
I know
have
what
them.
you're talking about.
My parents, I didn't have a lot of toys. So
Wait a
if stuff
minute,
was on,
wait a minute. There is a sizable age difference between you and Russell. How would you have the toys and you watch this show?
Because he had cable.
Yeah, but
Everything's
he
on
wouldn't have
cable.
been fucking alive when you were watching
yeah,
this
that's
show.
true. This was probably early 80s.
Yeah.
The secret is out.
mid-80s.
Russell is a Time Lord.
Yeah, it could be.
He's actually 40. And Steve was right.
I got a lot of dollar store toys though.
Yeah, well,
growing
that's
up.
what they were. It was my mother.
Like, I
I
got
still
the
had the
little
box
parachute man.
from this big giant thing. It was like 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
It was the command center, and you basically had these lines that you'd put on something and then run them down. And you had these little guys, and they would hold onto it with like a hook and fly down the thing. So I used to have these things all over the place. It was,
No, I've had
that was-
those.
That was
I've-
a fun toy.
I only had one
That's
though.
a fun
I didn't
toy.
I
have.
always liked the crazy Hot Wheel tracks.
Yeah.
I had one that went down 2 flights of stairs.
Do you see the ones that are on the wall now? You mount them to your wall.
Oh, that sounds nuts.
It would be if I had walls I could put it on.
I live in a shed made of hay, so the walls aren't the sturdiest.
No, wood paneling, baby.
And wood paneling. I live in the side of a station wagon.
I made a house made of used tires.
Used tires.
They do.
I couldn't afford new tires. I know they pound them full of dirt and they stack them up. It's a real thing. It sounds like
They
I'm
also made a
making a
house out of
joke.
Legos too. James May made a house.
I
out
would
of Legos.
I would live in a house made of Legos.
Well,
I
it didn't-
wouldn't-
It didn't.
Well, was it like a castle
you-
or a pirate ship or
No.
something cool?
Can you imagine walking anywhere there?
Yeah,
like going to
You
sleep
would
in your
be
Lego
sitting
bed.
on the flat. You would be on the flat end, moron, not the top end that you would stick your foot into.
They probably would make it top end the whole time.
Who would do that?
You
It's
build up.
horrible.
I think on the floors they put something over them, like
Yeah.
a shaded plexiglass or something, so you wouldn't hurt your feet. Because yeah, you're right. They did do it like that.
Yeah, can you imagine
That's
falling?
dumb. Put 'em top
Can you
up.
imagine falling down the stairs?
Well, it had to be
Is
made-
that's the only way they can sit, unless if
Who the fuck cares?
It had to be
Flip
made
them
of
upside
Legos.
down.
It was cool. It was good. It was a funny
flip them
show.
upside down, just super glue 'em.
Well,
What's the point?
we're going to take a break, and we are going to come back with news.
And tangents.
Tangent. I thought you said tangent.
Alright guys, so we're back. Normally we would be doing news because the last thing you just heard is that we were going to be doing news next. We actually just spent the last hour and 15 minutes doing news, but unfortunately the audio was completely mangled and garbled, and there was no way for me to fix it. We're unfortunately, we're not going to go back and redo it because it just wouldn't be the same with us doing it a second time. So we apologize for that. So this is going to be a very short podcast, and we're just going to move into just the top, which is our episodic top 5 list, and we're going to let Russell go first tonight.
All right, my top 5, which I just pulled out of my ass, literally, is going to be the top 5 N64 games of my childhood.
Oh, come on. I thought it was going to be top 5 number 2s.
I thought it was going to be top 5 games on my shelf behind me.
That's a good one. We're going to.
I thought it was going to be top 5 disappointments.
You can't do it though.
Next episode, I think we should do the top 5 games on my shelf.
You can't do it though.
Why?
Because it's going to be your top 5 games.
No, it's not, because some of those games aren't games that are on that shelf.
Oh, okay.
Which was funny because I'm doing my top 5 all-time favorite games.
No, I know. That's
yeah.
I saw the first one, so I kind of took a guess. But these are games that I played in my childhood, either with friends or with, alone.
Let the judging begin.
The first one you're probably going to say something, but as I was a kid, I did play a lot of Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Love that game.
Never played it.
Never played that. You played as little toy soldiers, and if you got burned, you would melt. It was awesome. Or if you fell on the grill, you would.
They were good, but the best Army Men game is Army Men
Real-time
RTS.
strategy.
Oh, for the GameCube?
And PlayStation 2 as well.
Oh, did it? All right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about picking it up on the GameCube.
It's much easier to find on the GameCube.
Yeah, you see it every once in a while, yeah.
So number 4, all my friends played it all the time, would be GoldenEye. Definitely a game that we could not put down. We would put it on one-hit kills and just slap the living hell out of each other.
Slappers only.
Yeah, oh yeah. Next one would be Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Not basically because I would actually beat the game, but the endless hours I would put into it trying to beat the first stage where you had to get by the moon crashing into the earth.
That's not like the first stage. It's
the first hour of the game that kept repeating for me over and over. But actually, I enjoyed that more than any of the...
Wait, are you saying that game was too hard for you?
It wasn't too hard, I just didn't understand it for the first 5 hours of owning it.
Okay.
Which,
I've never played. It's the one I've never played. I just don't really have
if you don't know what you're
interest
doing,
in
it keeps basically repeating itself.
Yeah. I don't know. I never understood it. I was like, you wear masks and you do different attacks. And I was like, but I'm Link, and I have a sword.
Oh, yeah.
And a shield.
No, you had to get something that... You would have to get a song that would stop time, and then you could pretty much do whatever you want past that.
There was a fan theory that all of Majora's Mask is just a hallucination. It's how Link is coping with entering the Lost Woods without a fairy, which means you're lost forever. And I guess it's the reason why there's a Stelphos, a skeleton dude in
Okay, you
Twilight
just
Princess.
looked for me for confirmation.
Yes,
the guy
you
that's
don't
never
play.
played fucking Zelda. Is that right, Steve? I'm not sure. You gotta check your Zelda almanac.
There in Twilight Princess, there's another Link. It seems like it's the giant skeleton dude teaching you the moves, and it's supposed to be the Link from Majora's Mask, who was lost in time, turned to a Stelphos.
Okay.
In the forest. So he went in without. He was looking for Navi. He went in without a fairy.
Yeah, because
Hey!
he lost her at the beginning.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen!
Hey, listen.
Fuck off!
Number 2 is quite possibly one of the harder N64 games to find that I still own, which I'm happy to own, which is going to be Bomberman The Second Attack. One of my favorite games. Me and my neighbor Tyler would actually play that all the time co-op. Love that game.
Pete's giving you the finger.
Totally giving you the finger.
Oh, because you don't have it.
1 of 6. 1 of 6 games I don't have.
How much money you want for that there,
Yeah,
Russell?
he's not buying that off me.
That's a lot of
stealing
money.
it from him.
You can
He's
buy
right.
another one.
I don't know. And number
Yeah,
one
you
game...
could. You could just buy another one.
Why would I go on eBay then?
Number one game that probably made me the way I am today for the N64 would be Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, you're fucking right.
One of my favorite games, and I will actually still hook up my N64 and play through that whole game without stopping.
We got the strategy guide for that game at the store the other day, and Russell gravitated to it the minute he walked in the door. He's like, "Oh, what's this?" And just took it out of the case, started flipping through it. He's like, "This is the good shit."
This is where you piss on somebody, and this is where the squirrel rapes another squirrel.
And this is where a giant mound
There's
of
no
poop
rape in that
talks.
game.
It's just Nintendo's biggest mistake.
It wasn't.
It wasn't Nintendo.
It was Rare.
It was Rare's greatest
Oh,
triumph.
It was.
No,
It was. One
Rare
of my
made
favorite
better
games.
games than that.
Viva Pinata!
Dude,
Hey.
Viva Pinata was shit.
Dude, I actually played a lot
Better
of
than
Pinata.
Conker's Bad Fur Day?
No.
Okay.
Not better.
You almost got 1,000.
Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts.
Yeah, I almost did everything possible in Viva Pinata.
We did the avatars from the Xbox.
That's what they got for their $300 million.
They lost all the talent, and then they made avatars for the Xbox.
Did they make Cameo too?
Yes, they made Cameo.
Elements of Power.
They made Cameo.
Cameo was originally supposed to be for like Super Nintendo, right?
Or
64.
Idea. I know it was in development for a while.
Forever.
Yeah.
The bad thing is, it was actually a neat game, but they'll never get a sequel because that genre's pretty much fucking dead, sadly.
Your genre's pretty much fucking dead, sadly.
I play anything that's good. Sports will never die, fucker.
You don't play anything that's good.
I play everything that's good.
You're terrible.
Rock, paper, scissors, who goes next?
No, go ahead.
You always want me to go. Yeah. Your list is too good for me.
All right, my top...
I'm going. You got your top list backwards already. I can see it.
No, I had to change the numbering because I found a game on my shelf. I was like everybody else here tonight and forgot to do a top 5 because this is my thing. I came up with this idea,
and you can't even be bothered.
Yeah, no, it was a long day and I didn't get home and I had to take a nap and I woke up and I was like, shit, I need a top 5 list.
Oh, hey, you take a nap.
So basically, what I did.
How was your nap today, Steve?
I didn't take a nap.
Oh, ask me how my nap was then.
You didn't take a nap.
Yeah, Russell.
I worked all day.
Yeah, because you're a fucking man.
I worked all day too.
I haven't taken a nap because my ovaries hurt. He called me up to tell me.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
So I stood in front of my games and figured, what console do I not really have that many games that I like? And I was like, hey, the Xbox. So my top 5 is my top 5 original Xbox games. Number 5, Doom 3. It was fun. A buddy of mine would not let me play this game because it terrified him because the loading screen had a flashing pentagram and he didn't like that. And another story is we were on some illicit drugs and he fucking freaked out because the pentagram's moving. Yeah, an entertaining story nevertheless. Number 4. Probably one of the most expensive games ever bought, Steel Battalion.
Steel Battalion is a fucking shit.
Yeah,
the game was awesome.
Steel Battalion was great. Nothing like a 40-button controller with 3 fucking pedals.
And a button just dedicated to windshield wipers.
Yes. It was the game where you had to actually eject out of the cockpit of your mech or the game restarted. There was no way to get around it. People were like, "Oh, what happens if you crash? You die and it starts over because you're dead." Yeah. That's the idea of the eject button. Awesome game.
Has anybody here besides us played it?
I haven't.
I've seen a controller for it, but I haven't played it.
It's really fascinating. Yeah. The controller is huge. It's a 3-piece controller. And he's right, there's like 40 to 50 buttons on this thing. It's really interesting.
It is.
Because it's quite realistic. Like there's a whole like startup sequence you have to initiate to actually get
and you have to do it right too.
Yeah, you have to do it in order or it would just fuck up because I kept stalling out. Like like you're learning how to drive like a manual transmission car. Like I was just like stalling out in this robot. It's really, really interesting. It's a ton of fun actually.
Yeah,
really
when the beginning of the game starts up, basically I don't really know how many different mechs there are, but the mech door comes down in front of you and the inside screens are all different. One's actually just black and white. Because you don't see outside of it. You see the picture that's in front of you. Okay. And you can actually turn the top of your mech to face a different direction. So you've got to make sure that you're facing the same way you're running, because if you turn wrong, you'll actually fall over. And there's like a clutch kick. There's like a clutch one on this, because it's got a brake, a gas, and a clutch, kind of. But it's not a clutch. What it is it's a side step. So if you start to tip over, you push the thing, and it shoots your mech up straight, and you straighten out. Basically, it's all about keeping your mech facing the right way. But I had the strategy guide for it. I have the original box. It's a really fun game to play. Hard.
I bet you it's not nearly as good as the 360 Kinect version.
Oh my god! The only thing that worked in that game, it's funny, is the binocular thing. You stood up because the Kinect on the original Xbox sucks ass, and you sit down and play this game, and the Kinect's like, "What? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?" I love watching people try to play that when they reach up with their hand, and they're just fucking like, yeah, it's just over and over, hand up and down, which won't fucking do anything because you're supposed to pull down this viewfinder.
Yeah.
But it won't work. The only thing that works with it is you stand up, hold your hands up to your eyes like you're looking through binoculars, and that'll fucking work.
Yeah, well, I saw it at PAX. I mean, they're trying to sell you on these games at PAX, and nobody could get it to fucking work.
No.
Like, oh, you got to slide open this thing. Come on, you got to just grab it. Give me buttons.
Now, this game came out towards the end of the Xbox, probably within the last 2 years, the first one. The second game, people who bought this game spent $200 on it. It was the same cost as the Xbox when it came out. Capcom decides to do a follow-up that is online only, multiplayer. Now, Xbox Live was impressive at its time, but really? You probably sold 100,000 copies of this game, maybe. Probably more like 20,000. And then you expect everybody who owns this game to play an online-only version of it that has no single player. And then the game died. And then they brought it back, and it's dead again.
Yeah, well, Connect anything. Connect required anything.
Why not make an adapter for people who own this game? I would have bought another fucking Xbox to play it. I have a $200 controller. You know, it was a lot of fun. Okay, sorry. That's for my number 4 game. Number 3, Sid Meier's Pirates. Fucking love it. Sid Meier's Pirates. Nothing like sailing around fucking Tortuga, moving rice and salt and beans to fucking different places in the Caribbean.
I honestly thought this would be your number 1.
No.
How much you love this
it can't
game.
be because there's a reason I owned an Xbox. Number 2, KOTOR. Knights of the Old Republic. Great game. The follow-up, not as good. Good game, not close.
You need to play Jade Empire.
I don't like...
I don't like the color green. It's
I
red
don't
or
like
nothing.
Asian people.
No,
That's what I'm waiting for him to say.
The biggest
I don't
problem
like
have
monarchies.
with it is I should play it. You're right. I should. I do own it. I have the collector's edition of it. But the thing I have a problem with is when I read reviews of it, it basically says that when you get to a point and you learn one attack, or one form, the Golem form, that's all you need to beat the entire game.
Just play the game.
I know. I'm not really into martial arts games
It's
either.
really
and that's
weird.
my problem.
I don't like marathon. I rarely marathon session a game. I did Gears of War 3 in one sitting. I did Legends of WrestleMania in one sitting, which if you know what you have to do to beat that game is fucking insane. And I did Jade Empire. I played 30 hours of Jade Empire within 2 days. And it was because I had a 2-day rental, and I beat the game. And that's the craziest amount of gameplay I've ever done in my life.
I got a buddy who loves Jade Empire.
It's
Maybe I'll
really
sit it
good.
down and play
I
it with
love
him,
it.
or at least watch him play it for a while.
I bought it on PC recently, maybe a year ago, and I'm curious to see what it's like on PCs. I know they made some changes to it. But I love the game. I absolutely love the game. I still remember the end of that game with the choices you make, and it always sticks with me. Fascinating game.
Number 1 is Halo.
Oh, fuck you. Your list is wrong.
You can hate it all you want. Number 1 is Halo because I bought an Xbox to play Halo.
Yeah, I bought an Xbox to play Halo too, and I was severely fucking disappointed.
That's fine because you played PC games back then, and it wasn't Unreal Tournament.
No, it wasn't. Because
That's
Unreal
okay.
Tournament's fucking
And
good.
then when the Unreal
Halo's
Tournament
not.
came out on the
Unreal
Xbox,
Tournament's
I bought it.
amazing.
Because I used to play Halo with my sister, her now ex-husband, and my friend Rich, and it was always
That's probably why, because he played two. It was Halo ruined it.
what
The marriage.
the marriage, dude. That was 15 years ago. However, it was a while ago. But I would literally play 3 to 4 hours of Halo a day, just multiplayer. And this is back when it was split screen, man, and I was the fucking king of watching everybody's screen. I didn't have to watch my own screen. I could fucking triangulate my position by watching other people's screens.
He's sitting there with a sextant and a compass, and he's just
Oh, dude, it was so good.
He's the only person who played a third person view of Halo.
Yeah.
But we were
That's how
always
I
in the same position. So it wasn't like, we were changing up our spots. We always sat in the same place. We were always in the same places. We usually only played 1 or 2 boards because it was intense. It was a lot of fun. And it's probably the most fun I've had playing multiplayer, at least with everybody in one room. Blood Gulch, shit tons of Blood Gulch, and yeah, Blood Gulch. Blood Gulch was the shit. Sidewinder was a little big for 4 players. I played some LAN stuff back then, and we played with some guys in Boston, and that was fun over GameSpy. Halo was a great game, and I loved the story too. It wasn't just the multiplayer. Now it's just multiplayer, and the story's kind of average. Halo to me was like you were Luke Skywalker. You're the ultimate badass, and you could jump 7 feet
you mean
in the
Han
air.
Solo?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Luke Skywalker's kind of whiny.
Yeah, and he kissed his sister on the mouth.
Your mouth kissed your sister with the tongue.
That's why he screamed
and
no. It's,
Cortana was great. The story was amazing. The game was absolutely fucking beautiful. I mean, back then, that game was fantastic looking. And I can't wait for Destiny. I cannot wait for Destiny. Destiny will kill Halo, and it'll be fucking great because I'll be playing Halo on my PlayStation 4. Halo is amazing. The reason to own an Xbox, the only reason, fuck Halo 2 and you people who think Halo 2 is a better game. Yes, better multiplayer, eat shit, the game sucks balls, there's a talking plant. There's one talking plant in all of media, and it's fucking Little Shop of Horrors.
You can't think of the name of it.
I almost lost it.
Aubrey 2.
He's fucking, but they had to rewrite the game, blah, blah. Then don't fucking put the game out.
I'd rather just talk about Rick Moranis movies than Halo.
That's a
Top
good
5 Rick Moranis movies.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, it has to be like number 1.
Could you put Ghostbusters?
You put Ghostbusters on the
Strange
Rick Moranis
Brew.
list.
You gotta have Strange Brew.
Yeah.
You could come up with a top 10 for
Yeah.
fucking Rick Moranis, maybe.
Rick Moranis is the fucking
No, you
man.
got Russell sitting in the corner going, I know one of them.
He's like, who the fuck's Rick Moranis?
No, he
think
knows
number
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Number
He does know
1,
Honey, I
maybe
Shrunk the Kids.
Spaceballs.
You see fucking Spaceballs?
I'm surrounded by assholes, which is how I feel during this podcast.
What's
when
the
I
matter,
talk
Colonel
about Halo.
Sanders? Chicken?
You guys
They
found anything
jammed
out
me.
there? I ain't found shit.
That was great. Comb the desert, and they have the little hair pick.
Rick Moranis is in, you guys probably never seen Brother Bear, but they do a great fucking throwback to Strange Brew.
It's his
the
last
brothers.
movie.
He's dead?
No, he retired.
Oh, fucking thank God. I was like, no!
Did you guys know Nell Carter's dead?
I know that one.
I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of How I Met Your Mother recently. Who's going next, me or you, Pete?
I just did a top 5 Rick Moranis list.
Yeah.
Dude, we can do that.
Top 5 expensive Nintendo
Top
games.
Don't
Peter-
answer my question.
Top 5 Peter Weller list.
Just never mind. Ooh, RoboCop 1 and 2, Dexter, Star Trek.
He was in 24.
And
Fuck
RoboCop
24.
1 and 2.
He was in Hawaii Five-0 last year, too.
Yeah.
The Handless Assassin.
He's like in a lot of things. He's just like, I'm Peter Weller.
Dude,
Like,
his death,
he
I'm
walks-
sorry, Peter Weller's death in Star Trek made me cringe. His daughter's watching him as Khan fucking...
Alice Eve.
Dude, oh, she was fucking hot. I was like... And the only thing was, I was like, she's British and her father's not.
Is this,
You
is this
would,
the new,
you would
new
like,
Star Trek movie I haven't
you
seen?
would like,
sorry.
She's Out of My
Peter
League.
Weller's in it and he dies? Fuck.
Sorry.
She's Out of My League is it's a
You didn't
romantic...
see it?
No, not yet.
She's Out of My League is
Ruined it all.
it's a romantic comedy.
No, I know what it is.
Yeah,
it's
it's
got
a-
the skinny guy.
It's Jay Baruchel, but it's a hard R-rated romantic comedy. It's fucking hilarious.
Get to see him?
No.
Do you
Then
see him
why?
naked?
You gotta look for if you want to see Alice
get to
Eve
see his
naked, you have to
boobs?
watch the movie she did with Ray Liotta.
Ooh.
I want to see Peter Weller naked.
I've seen Peter Weller naked.
Ray Liotta.
Does he have like a
Young
Roman
Ray
dog?
Liotta? Young Ray Liotta?
No, it's recent. How would it be young Ray Liotta? She's only like 23 years old.
She looked a little older in that movie. They did a lot of makeup.
She's probably older.
A lot of makeup in that. A lot of makeup in Star Trek. That was just.
You ever notice how I'm about to
Lens
start something
flare.
and it never
Lens
ever
flare.
starts?
Fuck!
Oh,
Dude,
lot
it
of
was
lens
so
flare.
good. The movie
You
was.
didn't know I was
Sorry,
telling the
we're out of
truth.
time.
You were fucking. What? Dude, I did not believe you. And then it was just like. It looked like a child had got their hands on the fucking editor and just put watercolors over every
J.J.
fucking
Abrams
scene.
loves lens
No,
flare.
not this bad. Not that bad.
It's a J.J. Abrams movie. He loves fucking lens flare.
It does, but it's not.
Not like this.
It's just
Not
everywhere.
like this.
You know what made
Color
Star Trek
streaks.
better is if it was just HUD talking to the camera the entire time.
Fuck HUD. It's a bad. Worst thing. The only thing.
I wish I could have seen that movie in IMAX.
I wish I-
Cloverfield?
Dude, that movie in a theater was
It would
amazing.
have made me sick.
It was so amazing. Oh god, it was so
You know, his
good.
name's HUD, like heads-up display. You know.
I never made that connection.
You're a fucking liar.
Never made that connection until just now. That's good. I never thought
Oh,
about
as soon
that.
as they said it, I was like, "Durr."
I never thought of that. That's good.
Really.
No, I never thought of that. I love that movie too. That movie's great.
The movie's good. It would have been better movie, not the way they
Yeah.
shot it.
All right.
Sorry.
You're going next.
Sorry.
I'm going. You sure? You want me to get 3 words into it or 6 words this time?
We need to pad this thing out because we just lost an hour.
You would
and a
have
half.
loved Peter Weller's plastic hands in Hawaii Five-0.
See, because you waited too long.
I'm just gonna Google Peter Weller plastic hands.
You should see him trying to put together the sniper rifle.
There's the name of the episode. Peter Weller's plastic hands. Hurry up, Pete. We're waiting for you to spit something out. Take your sweet ass time. Fucking asshole holding this thing
Wow,
up.
look what you did. Now you have to go now.
Yeah, he ruined the whole hour and a half that we lost.
I didn't ruin anything.
It was the goofy laugh
Okay.
at the beginning.
It's the top 5 expensive Nintendo games that are actually worth playing.
And I'm going to tell you right now, this list is wrong before I even hear any of it because of a question I asked him before we got started. The list is wrong.
Above $50. Average.
The game I'm thinking of is above $50 for fucking sure, and it's a good game.
Is
No,
it
he's
Super Mario
just-
RPG?
You're talking about? I think you're talking about NES games.
No,
it's
games.
a Nintendo
Period.
game.
Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, across all Nintendo platforms. I include the Wii U because it's new and there's no,
There's nothing.
I'm not counting new games. That's fucking cheap.
Pikmin
counting
3 is
new
worth
games.
$60.
So honorable mentions.
It would be if
I'm
it
sorry.
had some
You
online.
I'm sorry.
assholes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pikmin 3. Excuse my speech impediment.
The 100.
I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Never seen the movie.
I'm going home.
Never seen that fucking
one of
movie.
the best lines in fucking comedy, but I'd never seen that goddamn movie. And I won't.
They put it in the trailer. I didn't need to. I saw the movie. It's on Netflix. I saw it on Netflix. I didn't watch the movie. But I
Fucking
saw
fast
it.
forward to the scene and
Yeah.
watch it.
So,
She's hot.
Go ahead. We're fucking waiting. We're waiting.
trying to say stuff, but it's. I get like
The words
6
aren't
words in.
coming out
There
of
you
my
go.
mouth.
Okay.
Pete, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Not really.
Never touch a black man's radio.
This show is way too racist.
Well, we lost an hour and a half of that.
Yeah.
Whoa!
That whole hour and a half was racism, by the way.
So many good rants there.
All right, just go. Just
Honorable
go,
mention.
go.
Wild Guns or Harvest Moon for the Super Nintendo, both good games. Not on the list because fuck those. I don't know.
Have you played Wild Guns?
Recently on an emulator.
Yeah,
haven't played
it's-
it. Haven't played it on.
It's
hand.
not worth that much money.
It's
As badly as I want to own
That's
that
the
game.
side-scrolling
yeah,
Western,
it's
right?
fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's super short.
Yeah, it is. It's an arcade game. It's designed to put quarters into it.
Isn't that the Western shooter?
Yeah, it's a Western shooter. It's made by
Like the
Konami.
Western
I used to
space
love
shooter.
that.
Yeah, it's made by Konami.
Okay, so number 5, Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy. It's crazy.
Because you bought it last week.
Yeah, I did buy last. No, that was I bought Mega
Oh,
Man
that was
3.
3.
Mega
I was
Man
with
5.
Pete. I was with Pete when he bought 5.
Mega Man 5.
Oh,
These
when you guys went to Robot City last.
these robot aliens come down, and you're like pew 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 with your Mega Blaster, and I think you may even charge up a shot, and it doesn't do anything. And Mega Man's like fucking flabbergasted on why this isn't working. So Dr. Light comes by and says, "I got an upgrade for you that'll let you hurt him. I'm gonna turn your gun into a fist that you can fire out and shoot him." I'm like, why don't you just punch him real hard? Wouldn't that work good?
So he turns him into Inspector Gadget.
You fire out your fucking fist.
Ba-na-na-na.
Bet you like the Matthew Broderick movie.
I've never seen it. Chris just made an O face. Oh God! Now I know what it actually looks like.
Number 4,
Manager.
second time.
No, the mayor. The mayor.
Call me
Sec-
the warden. Put it on lockdown. Call me the zoning commissioner. I'm about to rate you for residential.
I'm about to.
Hey Steve, one of your games about to fall.
The
Number
ru-
4.
you.
I'm gonna Naruto you.
Number 4, second time on a list today. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Fucking fantastic game. I don't know what the more to say. Talking, singing, poop.
The Great Mighty Poop.
It's a great game. It's a fantastic game. It is not the worst thing ever that Nintendo's done.
The question I have though is that game's current price, is that any more than it was when it originally came out?
It was probably a $70 game.
It's
Yeah.
loose right now. It's running around $60.
Yeah, we just looked it up the other day. Yeah, it's running
Well, I mean-
about it's $70 on eBay right now.
For all
God, a
games.
box one's probably
No,
125.
box games are for all box games. This one is like the least.
Yeah,
amount
it's
of
about
difference.
$100.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
really?
weird. It's a really weird gap.
You can get a sealed one for 200.
What?
Yeah, it's a really weird gap between loose and boxed.
So we made out on that one, huh?
Yeah.
Number 3. My God, nobody's interrupting me. Number 3.
We've done
Gun.
enough.
Shut up! I'm gonna kill you. Number 3, Gun Knack for the NES.
That's not a game. Shut up! I'm gonna kill you.
We're gonna play it later.
In the driveway as I run you over.
Shut your mouth or I'm gonna fuck it.
That's not what I said at all. So Gun Knack is awesome. You're a ship. It's a shooter. You blue. You pew America. No, you don't. What the hell are you thinking? That's a machine gun. You're a ship. There's upgrades. It's a fucking fantastic game.
I've never heard of it.
They're buddy. It's pretty rare. It runs over $100.
What is the name of it?
Gun Knack. I don't know. I'm showing
Never
you.
fucking heard of it.
Steve shakes his head in disappointment.
There's like rabbits and shit that you have to kill, like robot space rabbits. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, dude, best rabbit deaths are in fucking Terraria. They like squeal when you.
They fly across the screen, too.
Oh,
You
it's
guys are
so
sick.
funny. Well, the first time I was like, "Oh, look, a little rabbit," and you fucking hit him, and they.
That's the noise I'm making.
Peter is trying to finish his list.
I'll never finish. I like the world's longest list every time. Number 2, Earthbound. Said it twice. Earthbound's a good RPG. It's a great RPG. I don't know how you're liking it playing on the Virtual Console, Steve.
I haven't played in weeks.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I haven't turned my Wii U on in a while either.
If the fucking Wii U would reach to my bed, I would fucking buy it.
Yeah.
that's like
Just
a
move it in
weird.
there.
No, because I just sold my PlayStation. I gotta have something else to play Netflix
No, you could just
on.
move it in there.
No, I get it. It's just annoying.
Earthbound is fun. It's an RPG. It's quirky, and it's a great time. It's super expensive, and the price doesn't really gone down even with the Virtual Console release. But it's not.
Isn't it like 200 now?
It's gone down $100.
It's around 150 now, right at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's
That's
about
nice.
in half then.
Yeah, so it's
but-
cut in half. That's gone down, Peter. That's what it means.
I know. Yeah, but it hasn't gone down as much as I expected.
Now I've seen it.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyways, moral of the story is it's not a rare game. It's not a rare game at all. It's
None of
just
those games that
expensive.
you've had on your list really are rare games because you can go on eBay and buy one.
Well, you can go on eBay and buy any game.
Not really.
Yeah, but games that are actually good instead of
Yeah,
games
no,
that are
I'm
like,
just saying. I'm just saying.
oh, I'm gonna get Super Noah's Ark 3D.
Yeah, that's a rare game.
What?
That's
Super
a rare
Noah
game.
Ark-
Oh, is it the shooter?
Yeah.
The Doom style shooter?
The Wolfenstein style
Wolf-
shooter.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, duh. Come on.
There's a difference.
There's a
Super
difference
Noah's
between
Ark.
Doom and Wolfenstein.
Peter, we're waiting for you to finish your list.
Oh, you want to hear what number 1 is?
Yes, I do.
It's not Mario RPG.
Because that's not an expensive game.
It's like a $45 game. It's close. It's Chrono Trigger. I fucking love Chrono Trigger.
Got a copy
Also-
of that in store today.
I got 2 copies at home.
One of them was mine.
It's got a little label damage, sadly.
I got 2 pristine copies at home.
I have a copy for the DS.
Yeah. No, it's
That you
a
bought for $20.
it's a
Dude,
fantastic
5 years ago at GameStop, $4 game.
Yeah.
fantastic game. Fucking fantastic.
Is it?
RPG.
Sorry.
Fucking buy it.
So you've played it a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Did you play the DS game?
I own the DS game.
Is
but I
it
haven't played
different? Oh, well,
It has the movies
same
from
thing.
the
It has the
PlayStation game.
cutscenes from the PS1 version.
oh, so it's better then.
I don't know if the cutscenes make it better.
I'll tell you what makes cutscenes better. Fucking War Lions, Final Fantasy War Lions on the PSP. Beautiful fucking cutscenes they put into that. And the game makes so much more sense.
My top 5
What?
list,
Your top 5 list? Let's talk about something else.
My
How about you,
top-
Russell?
Penis.
which is really close because my top 5 list are top 5 movies with all male casts.
Ooh.
Divorce Lawyer Consolation number 9. Backdoor Brad number 17. No.
Wait. Is this number 17 on your
The
list?
Thing.
The Thing, yeah. Glengarry Glen Ross.
women
No,
in Glengarry
because
Glen.
I really fucking hate doing these top 5s because I'm really lazy, so I'm just going to do my top 5 favorite games of all time. These aren't the games that I consider the best games of all time, because the game I consider to be the best game of all time isn't on this list. Number 5.
VVVVV.
No.
Okay.
Greatest game of all time, Super Mario... Or, Jesus Christ, fuck you. Super Mario Brothers 3 is the greatest game of all time. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. Which is funny, because when I said that in the last episode, Russell was like, yeah, he's kind of right.
It's Tetris.
Tetris is not the greatest game of all time.
It's close.
Tetris is number 2.
Pac-Man's great.
No, Pac-Man's...
Waka 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 waka. I could keep going if you'd like.
Number 5.
Waka waka waka.
Number 5 will piss Chris off.
He can't do it without saying the fucking motion.
I'm Italian. You gotta use your hands. Waka waka waka
Yeah,
waka
unfortunately,
waka
I got that
waka
curse.
waka waka. You know how to make an Italian shut up? Tie his hands up.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that one.
Gag him.
All right.
Ball gag.
Put a piece of pasta in the room.
That only slows him down.
Number 5 will piss Chris off to no end. Number 5 on my all-time favorite games list is Mass Effect 2. I love the game from start to finish. I think it's the video game version of Star Wars. It's just a great epic story.
How can it be the video game version of Star Wars when it's not a sci-fi game?
It is a science fiction.
No, it's not.
It takes place in space with aliens. It's science
bullets.
fiction.
It has bullets, and the first game has energy bullets.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off.
All right. Whatever.
It's not bullets. You
Number
have to clear your...
clip.
Mass Effect 2 is number 5 on my all-time favorite games list. I guess I should probably say that honorable. It's weird because it's the newest. Actually, it might not be the newest game it's not the newest game on my list. It's strange because
yes, it is.
No, it's not. You don't know what my list is.
I know what number 1 and 2 are.
Yes. The interesting thing is that despite the fact that I prefer older games, a lot of my favorite games of all time, if I had to extend this to a top 10 list, would be games that appeared on current generation systems. Like Heavy Rain and L.A. Noire would probably be on my top 10. I think that's kind of interesting. But Mass Effect 2, it's just something about it clicked with me. It's just, you can say that it's not as good as the first one. You could say whatever you want. That's fine. Maybe it's not as good as the first one. Something about it just clicked with me. I
fucking love Mass Effect 2. And it's weird to say this because it sounds like I'm being petty. I swear to you, finishing Mass Effect 3 ruined all the Mass Effects.
Yeah,
forever.
The biggest disappointment I've ever had with video gaming is Mass Effect 3. I didn't like that game for a lot of the different reasons than what the uproar was at the time. I finished that game incredibly fast. I beat the game in 2 days, so I was able to...
Really?
Yeah, I probably played like 50 hours. I mean, it's just... You know what I mean?
I'm doing 1-2-50.
You know what I mean? I think my save was like 26 hours or 27 hours, something like that. Because I just wanted to get through the game. I just wanted to get through the story and then do the extra stuff later. Mass Effect 3 completely broke my heart, and I honestly didn't play video games for a while after that. It just was the biggest disappointment I've had when it comes to a piece of media. It was just, they ruined everything that made those games special. And Mass Effect 2 to me is it's such a great story. You can say what you want about gameplay or whatever you want, just the story. I love the story.
Do you consider Mass Effect 3 a cash-in?
No, it's not a cash-in. I think that they were too quick to do it, and I think that was the fist of EA pressing them down
to finish it
and get it out.
And then they want Dragon Age done.
And I think that Mass Effect 3 shouldn't have come out. Mass Effect 3 shouldn't even have been out by now. Mass Effect 3 should be a game that starts off the next generation. Cool. You finish the story on the next systems, so that way you can make that leap. Because I honestly believe that Mass Effect 2 was the leap in a similar vein from Uncharted 1 to 2. Because Mass Effect 2 was just like...
Oh, it was a much better looking game.
Yeah, I mean, not just much better looking, but just in terms of story and narrative and depth and universe, like the codex entries and all these nooks and crannies in the game were just nuts. And the DLC and the story that they wove through it was amazing. And just 3 was just... They were like, you know what? We're going to take everything you like and get rid of it.
It's an action game, isn't
everything that this game is based upon...
the game's about.
They take... Okay... When you think of Mass Effect, what's the thing that you probably should think of first?
Player choice.
They take it away at 3.
Like all choice?
There's
the
end
like Paragon...
The end of the game,
Renegade?
Go fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Did you play all Paragon or all Renegade? Doesn't matter. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
We're going to choose your ending
so
for
the ending
you.
is
well, no,
the same no matter
you can
what?
kind of basically the ending is right in front of you, and there's 3 different spots you can walk into, and those.
It's just like they made this cop out bullshit ending with this character that didn't need to be in the game. He starts seeing visions of a dead child, and like you had to play through these dream sequences in this game where you're running through a forest in full armor after this child. And it's just like, I get you're trying to be artistic. It's their Uncharted sand desert moment. And I'm like, this is the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever played in a game in my life. This is so fucking stupid.
You know, like, I can stomach even the ending, but you may start Mass Effect, the first Mass Effect. You are at the same point everybody else starts Mass Effect on, and that's probably one of the only times you'll be at that same point. Everything diverges. And you start the second game, and all your diverge more. I'm not using proper English, I know.
It's just
but Mass Effect 3 ties everything together into the same goddamn point.
The problem is that Mass Effect 3, for the first, let's say it took me 25 hours to beat this game. The first 24 hours gives me all the closure I could ever want in a video game. It was the most satisfying video game I've ever played in my life. Every loose end gets tied up. Everything is this nice, neat package. You know what happens to all the characters you grew to love. The last hour fucks you up the ass.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself for liking this game. You were an idiot for liking this game. We just got your $60 to $80 out of you. Go fuck yourself. And go buy our DLC when we put out the real ending. It's the biggest slap in the face I've ever seen in video games.
Was the other ending better?
Yes.
Wasn't there supposedly a different ending if you did something in a certain way?
No, they put a DLC ending in, and another piece of DLC content that gives all the story information that should have been in the base game.
Yeah.
Should have been in the base game.
It's the Backlash DLC.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid, and I need to stop talking about it because I can go on for hours about how much I hate Mass Effect 3. I hate that game more than anything. You want a top 5 list of games I hate? It's number 1 through 5. Number 4 is
Hold on. Okay. I got one thing. You always think that I hate... I didn't get to the story in Mass Effect 2. You know why? Because I could not play my character from Mass Effect 1.
That's not my problem.
No. I bought it for the 360.
Yeah.
I played the first one on the 360.
Go buy the trilogy.
Let me finish. I played Mass Effect 1 on the 360. I loved it.
So
beat it in... I took like 50 hours to beat it because I did everything in Mass Effect 1. Started Mass Effect 2. Import my character. Great, I'm going to be a sniper again. I'm going to get my shitty fucking pistol. I'm going to have a couple of cool things. You cannot fucking play the game the same way.
Didn't they change the classes a little bit?
They changed the classes around. You probably picked the wrong... Not to defend it as being a more shooter game, because it is, but they did change classes around. You probably picked the wrong class.
No, I picked the sniper class, which is what I was in the first game.
You need to pick the soldier class.
I didn't want to be a soldier.
But the problem is that's where you get the...
I know that, but that's the problem. I can't play the... If you're going to make a trilogy of games and call them, oh, your choices in this make this to the end, why can't I be the same character and the same person I am in the second game? Because the gameplay is not the same.
You switch systems.
You got.
I did not switch systems. I bought it for the... I have the collector's edition still for Mass Effect 2.
I think it might be because you got blown up, and nothing was the same after that.
Okay, you're a different person.
No, I fucking was... I was bought it at midnight, everything.
Mass Effect 2 is one of the greatest casts ever in a game.
Well, when I did start playing it again, because I bought the... I bought the copy. You got mad. I bought it from the PlayStation 3, and I started playing it. I did what you said. I played as a soldier. It was good, but then the trilogy came out, and now I got to start over again.
Yeah, I got to do that.
So I want to replay it all again, and I'll play it eventually, and hopefully the story's good.
But recently, I've been thinking about going back and trying Mass Effect 3 again with the correct ending. Seeing if, and what I want to do, if I'm actually going to do this, I'm going to buy the trilogy and start from 1.
Yeah.
And do a different... I'll do, like, Renegade instead of Paragon or whatever. Yeah. But, I've just been thinking about it a lot, because I hate that fucking game. And I want to know... I want to know if I still do. That's the thing. I gotta find out if I still do.
My favorite thing in Mass Effect 1 was the guy was being belligerent, and I punched him.
Yeah.
Everybody probably did it here. He was just talking, yapping, and you're just like, you get the option to punch him, you just punch him.
When you punch
and
the
you fucking
newswoman
knock him.
too.
That's probably... there's another one where
you
do it.
Punch Jessica Chobot, number 3, or whatever the hell it is.
She got what she deserved.
Yeah.
I don't know...
Wait, it's actually Jessica Chobot?
Yeah, well, it's not her as Jessica. It's not like her playing herself, but she plays a character in that game.
A completely useless character.
Yeah, she is completely fucking useless. She adds nothing. She's not a playable character. She barely has any lines of dialogue. She takes up a room on your ship.
Nice.
The last thing...
Is it the sex room?
No.
Then damn.
I don't know if you could sex her or not.
No,
Regardless,
I don't think you can.
The
Miranda.
The thing about the the fucking game that really got me too is Mass Effect's kind of a single player game. They threw in some multiplayer. Great, if I really wanted to play, I could play some multiplayer. What the hell is this readiness thing, and why can't I get it up?
I wanted to not talk about that because that was going to throw me into a fucking fit of rage.
Readiness.
You had in order to completely play the single player version of Mass Effect 3, you had to play fucking multiplayer.
Yeah.
Do not make me do that.
Yeah. Not in a single player game.
You couldn't just play it a certain amount of times because the readiness will start to go down.
Yeah,
if you don't
go
play.
down. Yep.
And you don't know where the end is, so you got to keep playing it. Well, I'm not ready enough.
Number 4, because I'm going to fucking lose it. Number 4 is, I talked about this, I can't remember if I talked about this during the segment that got cut out or not, so if I did, I apologize, because you won't know the reference. Earlier in this thing, if I already said this earlier, whatever, I think there's a few games that exist that are perfect games gameplay-wise. They're technically flawless. Maybe not the best story, maybe they're not the best whatever. They're not the greatest games of all time by any stretch of the imagination, but technically they're flawless. Number 4 on my list is a game that I consider technically flawless. That's Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. I am not very good at video games. I can get through them. Donkey Kong, I am on another level. I can't speedrun it. I started watching Donkey Kong Country speedruns, and I think I could probably get to that level, but I can get through this game without getting hit. I haven't, and I was curious if I could still...
the first board.
I was curious if I could still do it, because I could do it as a kid. So I decided earlier this year I was going to beat Donkey Kong Country again. And I played my Japanese copy, because I actually don't own an American copy of this game. And I was able to do it. I was able to get pretty far in this game without getting hit. It's until you get to the industrial world. But the game still holds up. It's a wonderful game. I like 2 and 3. I think Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 are fine. But something about number 1, just the look of it was mind-blowing at the time. There wasn't a game that looked like it. It was the most graphically impressive game on the market at the time. And it still looks good today. And I just love every single bit of this game. I love Donkey Kong Country.
It's terrible, Adam.
It's so good.
Fucking terrible.
Number 3 is a game that was number 2 until very recently. Number 3 is V by Terry Cavanaugh. Another game I consider to be technically perfect. This is a game that I bought on a whim. I never thought that it would be anything more than a 45-minute long indie game, but I completely fell in love with this game. I think it's one of the... No. What the fuck? Yeah, fuck off. I know you can name my top 2 games. I don't give a shit. Yeah, whatever. I'll get to it again. Thanks for the spoilers, asshole. But
it probably didn't even show up.
But V is great. I love it. There's a thing in the game called the Super Gravitron, which is basically kind of like the best way I can equate it is like a survival thing. And I've put so many hours into that. I've probably played hundreds and hundreds of hours in this game, and most people are gonna think that anybody that's ever played the game is gonna be like, "How the fuck did you possibly do that?" I've beat the game, the story portion of the game, probably close to 600 times. Because it doesn't really take that long to do. You can do it in a single sitting if you want to. And every once in a while, I'm just gonna beat V today. I'll just make him be like, yeah, I'm just gonna play through V today, and I'll do it. And I love the game. It's great. And now it's coming out on other systems and more people can play it. I think that's great. Number 2, fuck both of you, all of you. I don't give a shit. Number 2 is Persona 4.
Say anything.
Persona 4, specifically Golden. I never played the PS2 version. I played Golden, so there are some differences between them. I got hooked on that story hard.
Turned into an anime guy, too.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I think it's a great story. I think the voice acting is wonderful. I think it's one of the best stories in a game ever. I think it's got some of the best character development ever. Gameplay-wise, as far as RPGs go, it's top-notch. It's traditional turn-based Japanese RPGs, and I loved every second of that game, and I can't wait to play it again in a few years when I kind of forget some of the stuff that happens in it, because it's just too fresh now to go back and play it and make some different choices. But yeah, every second of that game is pure gold, pardon the pun, but it's really a fantastic game. And number 1 is Mario RPG. I played Mario RPG as a kid. I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. I went to a babysitter because my parents worked long hours, and the babysitter had Mario RPG, and that's how I spent a summer vacation. As I beat Mario RPG, I found every secret in this game, and this was pre-internet. This meant that it was just hours of me scouring every inch of these maps trying to find these secrets. I beat Kulex. I found the Cloud Casino and did all that shit. I did everything. And here's the thing, and it's something that I'll never do again. I've only ever done it once in my life. I've gotten to the point where if I'm 10 hours into a game and I lose my save, I will not start over. I will get rid of the game. I was at the final boss of Mario RPG and lost my save, and I started over.
On a how'd you lose a save on a Super Nintendo?
Because somebody was jiggling the machine when I was trying to save.
Oh, okay.
After you've murdered
it erased the cart. There was other saves on the cart. It erased the cart back to default. And I started over again. It's the only time I'll ever do that. And I was terrified that this game wouldn't hold up and that my nostalgia would just be nostalgia. So last year I played the game. Still fucking holds up. It's still one of the best games I've ever played in my life. And the characters, the setting, the combat, the timing system. No, I don't think there's another RPG that has combat like this. It's unique to this game. Most RPGs are the same. You pick your attack and you attack the character you select. This game is different. And I think because of that, it sets it apart.
It's been a while since I've played both of them. I actually went and started a game because I got it for free on the Wii. And Steve's right. Technically, for when it was, even when I played this game like 2 months ago, just the beginning of it, I was thinking, God damn, for 1993?
7.
Whatever year it was, it doesn't matter. That game was amazing looking, had some really cool scrolling.
1996. I'm holding my complete in box copy of Mario RPG. My mint complete in box copy of Mario RPG. 1996.
Just even the chandelier scene at the beginning.
Yes.
That
one of the most
amazing.
iconic moments in Mario history. Yeah, I'm just looking at my box now because this game is.
It was a neat game.
It's perfect.
But a game that does have a lot of what you're talking about, the button presses, the timing thing. Legend of Dragoon has a lot of timing button presses during the battle scenes.
Yeah. Mario RPG, I have to imagine it'll always be my favorite game. I can't imagine another game taking its place. If there was a game that was going to take its place, it was going to be Persona 4. Because as trivial as it sounds, after I finished Persona 4, I kind of sat down and was like, fuck, is this better than Mario RPG? Like, it took, I just kind of sit there for a second like, shit, is this number one now? And if there's ever been such a thing as a tie, it's probably close enough to be almost a tie.
Just the companies that made it. Square at the time was the biggest.
They're on fire.
I mean, in '97, that was either right before or right. I don't know.
This was what they did before Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII.
So you can think of a company doing Final Fantasy VI, Mario RPG, Final Fantasy VII. Holy shit! Yeah. You know, like that's impressive.
Because 6, a lot of people think 6 is better than 7. Whatever, your opinion's your opinion. Those are 3 of the best games ever made.
Is 6 the one where I can suplex a train?
Yes.
Then 6 is the best.
What?
Suplex a train!
I've never really played 6.
I mean, I suplex a train.
I beat the original Final Fantasy, in fucking 1990 or whatever. I played the original one with my friend who, as the main boss comes up, he goes, "Oh my god, it's Chouse!" The main boss's name is Chaos. Oh. And I just fucking died laughing, and just like, you said Chouse. And when he dies, and he just kind of falls to pieces, and the little sprites are falling out. It was fucking horrible and great. And then the end of the game, they actually draw calligraphy. They have a little pen that's right to the end. And Square's made some of the best games ever. I don't really care about what they've done lately because it's still good stuff.
They've turned into one of the best publishers around.
Yeah, because Sleeping Dogs, Tomb Raider. I was going to ask they put out Tomb Raider.
Sleeping Dogs
would be in the top 10.
Sleeping Dogs probably isn't in my top 10. It's in the top 20. I think Sleeping Dogs is probably, though, if you ask me the most underrated games, I think Sleeping Dogs might be number 1.
That's good.
Sleeping Dogs is absolutely amazing. I love that game so much, and a lot of people would be like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Sleeping Dogs, really?"
That was a good.
If you have that reaction, you didn't play it because you don't know how good that game is. That game is absolutely amazing. It is one of the best looking games I've ever played in my life. Graphically, that game is on another level.
Yeah.
That's like when I upgraded my PC and put my new graphics card in. Most people would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put Crysis on." No, I put Sleeping Dogs on, and I was like, "Oh, fucking shit! You gotta be kidding me!" And then when I got my new monitor, I have a really high quality fancy monitor. I was like, "Put Sleeping Dogs on this thing," and I was fucking kidding me. It looks even better now. Like, it's just that game is just so impressive. and even gameplay wise, I hate the Batman games, the new Batman games like Arkham Origins and all that, or Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I don't like the fact that you can get lost too easily, but the combat. Everybody was like, "Oh, Sleeping Dogs just ripped off the Batman combat." Yeah, they ripped it off, but it did it better. The Sleeping Dogs combat is way much better.
I didn't play much of the Batman games.
It's got all these environmental stuff. It's also incredibly violent and brutal in that game. You're just like stabbing dudes on swordfish.
Yeah.
It's just that game is nuts.
Yeah, the heads into the fans.
Into the fans. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff in that game. I just truly love that game. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. Sorry about missing the whole middle section of this show, but sometimes things go wrong. Technology is not our friend sometimes.
But this is definitely going to go right, because if it doesn't, you'll never hear it.
Yeah, that's the thing. If this went wrong, you'll never hear this. So I can basically say whatever I want right now.
No, you can't, because they'll hear it.
No, you don't know that. You could never hear this.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Fuck you. You're cool. I'm out.